Hello, I'm Max, and over the next few minutes I'd like to take a step back with you and rethink how communication is organized today and why that question is more critical than ever. Communication has never looked more advanced. We produce more content than ever. We publish more than ever. We reach more channels. We measure more metrics. And yet one fundamental question remains, a basic question many organizations struggle with, a question many of our customers have on their mind. Are we really communicating? Or are we just publishing content, lots of content? Communication is supposed to create clarity, understanding, and trust. Publishing creates more output. That's not the same thing. Over the last years, we have optimized communication for output, for speed and volume, for channels, for reach, and we got very good at it. Quantity skyrockets. Yet attention doesn't. Many communication teams experience declining alignment, less resonance, and growing mistrust. That's not a contradiction. We are winning the wrong game. We are not optimizing what actually matters. Technology, and AI in particular, has removed friction almost everywhere, increasing speed and volume. But speed and volume alone don't create impact. Without strategy, we just create noise, commodity content. Real impact only happens up here, in the zone of effect, where speed meets strategic alignment. And this isn't just about performance, it's also about roles and positioning. Despite the ambitions, too often we see communicators being pushed into production mode, getting sidelined, not having a seat at the table. What we are experiencing isn't about individual effort. It's not a skills gap, not a motivational problem. It's not a tool problem either. The gap is structural. Communication doesn't behave like a task. It's not just a set of activities which you just work harder on to improve. Communication is a system. And when the system is fragmented, even excellent people produce fragmented results. That's why adding more tools, more channels, or more AI rarely fixes the problem. Before we go deeper, a quick word on where this perspective comes from. At Scompler, we work together with communication teams across very different organizations, global companies, public institutions, and NGOs. And what I'm sharing here isn't theory. It's what we see again and again when strategy meets execution and when systems either support communication or silently work against it. So, if we look at how communication is organized today, we see fragmentation everywhere, a broken infrastructure. Teams are siloed in ignorance, working independently from each other. Strategy is hidden in SharePoint folders, either not visible or not understood. Narratives get dusty in documents, one voice remains a pipe dream, and content is scattered over a wide array of tools. Each of these elements makes sense on its own, but strategic impact lives in the connections between them. There is no shared context, no single source of truth where communication comes together strategically. Nothing is really connected. AI changes the equation dramatically, for sure. It gives us speed and volume, but we don't have a productivity problem, we have a coordination problem, a structural gap. And AI gives us no priorities, no orientation, no responsibility. The more we automate, the more important the non-automatable becomes. By the way, that's also why many organizations are struggling with shadow AI, the unregulated use of AI in private, and therefore risking security, trust, and brand perception. Not as a failure of people and not because the technology use is wrong, but as a signal of missing coordination and missing control. So, what are we facing today? It's not a communication crisis per se, it's more a system design problem. And systems don't evolve by accident, or fragmented systems don't fix themselves. They need to be designed and redesigned deliberately, structurally, and with intent. So the implication is quite clear. Communication doesn't just need better execution, it needs a way to operate. Every complex function that wants to create impact at scale needs an operating system. One that defines structure, one that creates shared context, one that connects strategy with execution. The question now is this: what does such an operating system look like, and how must it be built for communication to actually work? What should actually organize our work? For decades, we've organized communication around channels. Press here, social there, internal somewhere else. But channels don't create alignment. Topics do. Topic-centric communication puts strategy at the center, not as a document, but as a daily reference point. Topics connect stories, stories connect content, and content can then be distributed across channels without losing coherence. And topics connect entire organizations. What are we all talking about? This shift alone changes how teams collaborate and how priorities are set and how impact is created, even before we talk about tools or AI. But let's talk about AI. AI is transforming communication faster, cheaper, more scalable than ever before. And when the hype hit, most teams didn't slow down and think and rethink. They sped up and fell into the trap of activism. They attached AI to every workflow they could find, but what should be clear by now, speed without strategic direction just accelerates the wrong things. Simply adding AI everywhere can't be the answer. The real shift is this: AI must be embedded in strategic guardrails, guided by human judgment, not as a gimmick, but as part of the operating system for communication. AI should amplify clarity, not chaos, strategy, not noise. Make AI a valuable team player. Integrate it into the planning, collaborative creation, orchestration, and analysis, always guided by clear goals, shared narratives, and human judgment, understanding why it creates, not just how. You shouldn't have to maintain prompt libraries or endless context documents. AI should live where your strategy lives, inside the operating system, so you can scale what works and focus human creativity and critical thinking where it really matters. And now, let's talk about tools, not because we have too many, but because they don't add up to a system. Most communication environments today didn't grow by design, they grew by accumulation. One tool for this, one tool for that, each solving a local problem, but none creating a shared logic. Without that shared logic, integrations stay fragile, data stays fragmented, and teams are forced to coordinate manually. What we need is a new form of intelligence, connected intelligence. The combination of human judgment, AI capabilities, and strategic frameworks in one integrated system. What communication actually needs is an integration logic around a shared core, a connected single source of truth that transforms scattered tools into a powerful ecosystem, one that anchors every specialized solution for creation, publishing, or analytics in a shared understanding across teams and tools. That's what makes scale possible. That's an operating system for alignment, speed, and measurable impact. This is Scompler. We help organizations rethink how communication is organized, not just how content is created, but how strategy, narratives, teams, processes, workflows, and tools come together. Scompler turns purpose and insights into action by connecting people, processes, data, and Scompler AI that thinks like a strategist, creates like a pro, and collaborates like a colleague in one platform. Today, Scompler is trusted by more than 450 organizations and around 25,000 active users worldwide, from global companies and NGOs to public institutions and mid-sized organizations. But this isn't the end state, it's the foundation. The leading strategic comms platform to structure, plan, and align your communications. But we're building something bigger. We're connecting your tools, data, and teams through plug-and-play apps and agentic support. Connected intelligence will help you with smarter workflows and a seamless system integration. We're adding narrative intelligence that understands context, impact, and helps you to implement an audience-centric approach in communication. Our vision the operating system for strategic communications, the connected, intelligent layer that turns communication into business impact. Imagine having real-time insights that help you adapt your strategy, clear metrics showing your impact, and intelligence that helps you evolve with your audience. That's where we're going. Thank you for your interest today. If you have any questions, if you would like to continue a conversation, feel free to reach out to the Scompler team, to me. Contact us via email or LinkedIn. We're happy to discuss anything related communication.